do another video. Today's going to be a Q&A, but a difficult Q&A. Juicy questions. Questions that I don't normally answer because I asked you on Instagram, you sent me some really good ones, so just difficult questions only for this video. Are there, if any, brand deals that you regret doing? And the answer is yes. There is one specifically that I do regret doing, and it was my first ever paid for video. It was years and years and years ago. The video's not on my channel anymore. Basically, I'm not gonna tell you what the product is, but I was offered, I think it was £200, it's a lot of money. I got paid £200 to talk about this product, show how it worked, and it was kind of a unique thing. So I was like, yeah, that's fine. I'd looked like a little bit about it, and I was like, yeah, that seems good. Yeah, that seems fine. I will do that. So I got sent the product. I filmed, because they wanted it out really quickly, so I got sent the product. I filmed the video the same day that I received it, and then I think it went out 2 days later. So it all seemed very quick and rushed. And I showed in the video how it worked, and posted the video, and it wasn't necessarily in the video. I didn't lie about anything. I didn't say, oh my gosh, I've had this product for years and it's amazing. It wasn't, but it just felt a little bit rushed. Now I was on the understanding that I would keep the product and I'd be able to do more videos about it to see how I was getting on with it, but then they asked for the product back, and I don't know, I just felt not very good about it because I didn't feel like I'd had enough time to play around with it and see if it was something that I was happy to promote, I guess. And I do regret that, and I don't ever do that now. And I guess the thing with it is, it did teach me very, very early on, obviously it was the first paid for thing that I'd done, to never ever do that again. And I would never do that. I will never ever promote a product or talk about something on here unless I know that I love it, that I've used it, that I've paid for it with my own money, or that it's just something that I think is an amazing, I don't know, addition if you're a cyclist. And so I'm grateful that it did teach me that, but I still felt bad. So I think it was quite a while after I think I deleted it, because I did feel bad about it. Because for me, and I know it's hard because there are a lot of people online on Instagram, on YouTube, like always, I feel like it is a lot at the minute where a lot of people seem to be selling things and promoting things. It's like, who do you trust? And I just want you to know that your trust in me is worth way more than any paycheck from any brand to promote a product that I don't believe in. Like, and I don't ever talk about it, so maybe I will do a video on like sponsorships and brand deals and things, and maybe other people say this, but I have turned down, if you saw the amount of things that I turned down, the money that I turned down, because I just don't, it doesn't align with me. Like I can't do it. And I think I'm glad that I had that experience very early on to let me know like where my moral ground lies. And I'm just like, I can't ever talk about something if I don't actually love it. And the thing with me is, you'll know, like if I love something, I just absolutely love it. I'm like, this is amazing, and I'll just use it for years and years and years and years. But yeah, I do regret that one. That was one brand deal that I regret. Are you still sponsored by Ribble? And if not, why not? What happened? Never spoken about this. So with Ribble, I was with them for 3.5 years. It was an amazing time. I loved the bikes, I loved the people. I just had I don't know, do you just have like a really good experience with a brand? And I felt like for me, it wasn't like just a sponsorship. It felt like, I felt like I knew them really well and the people that I was dealing with really well. And I just had loads of fun. It was just a really nice place to be and be around. Like I say, I like the bikes, I like the people, and I'm really grateful for the amount of time that we worked together. Like 3.5 years, I guess in this, like, I guess social media, it is a long time. But anyway, yeah, June last year, it was, I think they were going on like a different direction with what they wanted to do. I felt like it was time for a change, and we just very like nicely parted ways. I don't have anything bad to say about them, the brand, the people. I genuinely don't. I think, yeah, I stand by everything that I've said in all my other videos. I'm not like, oh, their bikes are terrible, their people are horrible. Like, I don't. Because I guess when you are sponsored by specifically a bike brand, you are, I guess, more, obviously you can't just ride loads of other bikes and see what other things are on offer, because I'd gone from riding one like giant like alloy bike, that was my main bike, and I'd never really ridden carbon, I'd never really ridden anything else. Then I went straight to Ribble, and I'd not had chance to try other brands and see what other things that were out there and things that I liked. So I am liking this time just to be able to see what else is out there, ride different bikes. But yeah, nothing bad. Like my time with them, and like I say, I'm just forever grateful that that we worked together for the amount of time that we did. How do you avoid burnout? So last year, you probably know, I had burnout pretty badly, and I think that was just from years of cycling, years of creating content around cycling, and it all just kind of came to a head, and I was like, it just was really hard for me to keep up that momentum. And I think to learn out how to avoid it is just listen. It sounds really like obvious, but like listen to your body and listen and find out where your limit is. And I kind of feel like to avoid it, it's kind of to know where your limit is. And I feel like for me, my limit was surpassed. And now I know where that is. And I feel like that because cycling is my hobby and my job, and it all just amalgamated into this. And I mean, it's amazing. I'm never, ever, ever going to like grumble about it, because it's just the dream, right? It is just the dream job. But it can take away from like your hobby, because then you're not just doing it for the fun of it. It's kind of like a work thing. So then I kind of figured that I need to have time away from it, or just have rides where I don't necessarily film, because I felt like if I was going out, I'd just always film. I'm like, oh, I could get a video from this. And it's like, I should just keep it as my hobby. So you'll see that like there's a lot of rides that I do, or events and things that I don't necessarily, not really events actually, but just rides that I go on that I don't always film anymore, because I'm like, I just need to just take it back a little bit and just have a little bit of my old hobby back just for me. So that's how I would avoid it, is listen to your body, know where your limit is, and not to spread yourself and try and do too much. I think for me, I just need to just tone it down a little bit and not have to film everything and do everything. And because that's the thing, I was like, I want to do every opportunity, I want to grab everything, but actually they have to have a limit, and you sometimes have to say no to things. And I think that's the way of avoiding it, is learning to say no. How do I stop hating myself for not being as strong as the people that I ride with? And this hurt my heart a little bit, because I think there's always going to be someone that is faster, always going to be someone that is slower. And I think for me, like, it can feel frustrating. I mean, don't hate yourself. I mean, we've all built fitness in different ways over the years. So don't be hard on yourself. And I think the other thing is, I've always said this, but I would much rather be in a group, and sometimes it is frustrating, I know, but I'd rather be in a group that's stronger than me, that's then going to push me and push my fitness and make me improve, rather than being with a group that is slower than me, that I'm always at the front of, because who's pushing you, who's encouraging you? And I think there's got to be a balance. Like, you've got to sometimes be pushed and sometimes just have like a social. There are going to be, I mean, are you part of a club? Like, there'll be different pace groups that you can ride with. But I think ultimately, like, don't be so hard on yourself. Riding bikes is meant to be fun. Like, don't be so hard on yourself, because unless you are racing professionally and times and speeds and things actually are dependent on your job and ways of earning money, then you shouldn't try not to worry about it, because it's really not important. But just know that everyone's fitness changes. You can build fitness, you can lose fitness, and ultimately we just want to ride bikes and have fun with our mates, don't we? And I'm sure the people that you ride with feel the exact same way. So yeah, don't be too hard on yourself. What is the most challenging thing in cycling? I think the most challenging thing in cycling is clipping in on a hill, because I can't do it. I mean, you can. I don't know how people do it when it's steep. When you see the pros do it, I'm like, how are they doing it? I mean, that's like my trivial answer. But I think generally, and I think this is like this with any sport or any kind of thing that you learn, is you're never done. Like, you're never at a point where you're like, I've completed cycling now, like, I'm good at everything. There's always something to learn, there's always something to get better. So I think my thing with that is you just have to appreciate where you are now, appreciate your fitness now, appreciate the things that you've done, the things that you've accomplished, and not always feel like there's that next thing. And I think that's probably, going back to burnout, I think that's probably a reason why I got burnt out, because I was always like, okay, now what's the next thing? Like, I remember doing All Points North. That was like the biggest thing that I'd done. It was like 1,000k event, so much climbing. I was exhausted after, and as soon as I'd done it, everyone's like, so what are you doing next? I'm like, I need to rest from this. Like, I just felt there's always that constant pressure of like what's next? And actually, I just think you should just revel in the niceness of just where you're at now. planning on getting married. I'm not for it and I'm not against it. I'm kind of like, I don't mind it either way. But potentially yes, potentially no. So I hope that answers all your questions. If you've got any other questions that I've not talked about in here, leave them in the comments. But I don't want questions. I had a lot of these on Instagram. I'm like, I want difficult questions, like really nosy questions, not questions like, what's your favourite climb? Like, where's your favourite country to ride? I want like difficult questions. And if there are enough difficult questions in the comments, then I'll do a part 2 of this video. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next video.